I think people will be familiar. You can just Google Robinhood if you've been living under a rock the last week and a half or so. So what's your opinion on things, and tell me what you think of this going on, and how you think it's going to.
Yeah. I the whole thing, first of all, is interesting, and I feel like it's very on brand for like 2020, 2021, right? Like we have the presidential election is over. We've now translated our political positions into like our positions on stocks, and which stocks are going to go up, and which people are bad and which people are good. And I mean, there is some level to which I've never been a fan of. I understand why short selling exists in the market. I'm not saying it doesn't have an important part to play in the market, but you see a lot of the behavior with some of these, hedge fund players who take a short position and then effectively are working to drive, a company's stock down, and they're taking action to try to drive a company's stock down, and it's not a great look. And this band, I mean, we've never seen anything like this before. There's a great piece that a venture capital guy in Silicon Valley wrote. His name is Mike Solana, and he wrote this piece called Jump. And he was talking about how when he was a kid, there was this theory that like if China could get all of their citizens to like jump at the same time, they could completely destabilize the globe, right? And throw it off its axis. And his point basically was like we've suddenly reached this place where like we've never had a place where, for example, a president had like 100 million people that he could say jump to, and they could jump at the same time. So without getting political around Trump, point being is that like this Wall Street bets thing is like super interesting, because it's another point in this phenomenon. Like we've never had this kind of mass coordination of people coming around, this idea of a stock position to like, oppose a hedge fund short position and kind of like take it down. And I mean, it's fascinating. Wall Street Journal, I think, said yesterday that that hedge fund's down 53%. I mean, that's wild in the space of 1 month, right?
Yeah. Well, they needed a 50%. They lost. They needed a $2 billion lifeline, right? They got $2 billion from
right.
And it's incredible how I think we've always had these, right? We've always had these groups that have been trying to buy stocks, but it's never worked to this level before.
Right. Right. And it's never, you've never had this level of coordination. I was on like the new social app craze, I guess, is this app called Clubhouse. So I actually like signed onto it last night, and lo and behold, a lot of the folks at like Benzinga and in the FinTwit world were having a conversation on this. And my buddy Jason Raznick, who runs Benzinga, kind of pulled me on the little stage on Clubhouse, and we're talking about this, and just talking about he was live on like a YouTube live stream or something, and said something about like he doesn't understand what's going on with this GameStop thing, and like boom, like 5,000 people from Reddit all joined the live stream, and the comments went nuts in the middle of it, and just like the sheer like central force of that action of people engaged in that. You have to call it a movement. You can make arguments about whether or not it's a wise investing choice, or whether going with a crowd like that is a good idea. But it is fascinating to sit back and look at it and say, this is real. Like this is a part of the markets. Whether we want it to happen or don't want it to happen, whether it's, people's play money, there is enough play money in the world that people can move markets with it. That much has been proven over the last week.